All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs in tonight's video. 26-13 loss in your preseason opener. Obviously, no one really cares about the preseason outcomes here, but I will just say preseason's so interesting to me. Kansas City, they were only on the field, the first string. Like Patrick Mahomes only played 6 snaps in the preseason opener. What was also cool to see is guys like Kingsley, the left tackle, the rookie left tackle, also getting 6 snaps. So, basically the first string guys on offense got about 6 snaps. Preseason is so interesting to me because, Patrick Mahomes, end of the day, 3 of 4, 27 yards. They got stopped in the red zone. No one really cares about, the first preseason game. And no one really cares about preseason in general. But what I do think it does is it gives us a good indication of where certain players are. But in correlation to, does Patrick Mahomes struggle in the first preseason game? Or, next preseason game, we want to see a little bit more from Patty in the first string offense. It's really interesting because it just doesn't really matter to me for a team like Kansas City Chiefs. You're coming off back-to-back Super Bowls, right? If I was a team, like, I made a Cincinnati Bengals video the other day. My quarterback, if Patrick Mahomes got injured in week 11, with a wrist surgery, and yes, I would be a little bit more intrigued by how that first preseason, even if it's just one drive, how that goes. But I remember covering, think about the Baltimore Ravens and their preseason winning streak. Think about, first thing that comes to mind is the Pittsburgh Steelers last season. Kenny Pickett in their first string offense, I'm pretty sure they went 6 for 6 in their 3 preseason games, and they all resulted in touchdowns. So no one here in Kansas City's freaking out, but there was a lot of good stuff. There was a little bit of bad stuff, particularly the injury to Hollywood Marquise Brown, or Marquise Hollywood Brown. But we're going to talk about it all in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We do post a ton of Chiefs content on this channel. So Chiefs fans, if we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would be absolutely awesome. So the good news is, a lot of rookies shined last night, or 2 days ago at this point, guys like Jaden Hicks. But real quick, Marquise Brown is not going to need surgery after his shoulder injury. His week 1 status is up in the air, and today's Monday, so you got a bunch of guys on ESPN and FS1 and what have you, talking about their concerns for the wide receiver room. And one thing that was funny to me is nobody really had legitimate concerns. It is very unfortunate that Hollywood Brown got injured. It's very unfortunate he got injured on the first snap. It was their first major injury of this season. He left Saturday's game with a left shoulder injury. He damaged his collarbone, was literally taken to the hospital. Thankfully, he was released Saturday night. The big question was, this is an injury that Tyreek Hill suffered in 2019 on opening day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he missed 4 games, a total of 36 or 34 days before he ended up returning. The good news is Hollywood Brown doesn't need surgery, and he's a free agent addition. So you want him to build this rapport and the chemistry and the timing with MVP Mahomes. But that's why I threw in MVP Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes. This is MVP guy. This is a Super Bowl guy. They've had enough practices in training camp that even if Hollywood Brown misses the first week, or if he only practices 1 or 2 times leading up into the week 1 game, I'm not worried because I don't need Kansas City to get off to a 5-0 start. I don't need them to go to a 10-0 start. We saw it from Kansas City last year. Folks, the time to beat, I was just talking to a Steelers Uber driver the other day. The time to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs was last freaking season. And all 31 other teams missed the boat on that. And this team significantly improved. So yes, unfortunately, Hollywood Brown got injured. We never want injuries no matter who you're rooting for. But the good news is he didn't need surgery and he should be good to go in the first month of the Kansas City Chiefs regular season. But let me know. That's why you have Travis Kelce. That's why you have Rashee Rice, who was literally almost a 1,000-yard receiver. If we're counting playoffs, he was well above 1,000. Rashee Rice had one of the best seasons last year as a rookie wide receiver, but I think because of Puka Nacua, and I think just because of the fact he's on the Kansas City Chiefs, it kind of was overlooked because, oh, Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback. Like, yeah, I expect your rookie wide receiver to have almost 1,000 yards. Like, that's a freaking thing. But the good news, folks, is Justin Ross did really well. He logged 23 offensive snaps the other day. He only had one catch for 23 yards. But that catch was beautiful, and it literally highlighted exactly why everyone has been hopeful for Justin Ross since he became a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. If he keeps this up, he's had a really good training camp, and if he can keep this up, it's going to be really hard to leave him off the roster. I know we do this every single season. We see the training camp hype, we see the preseason hype, and we want to see it correlate to the regular season. But all I'm telling you is I think he did a good job with his 23-yard catch. It was a beautiful highlight, and it is definitely a step in the right direction for him making this roster. Speaking of young cats, Jaden Hicks, 4th-round rookie. Folks, the entire training camp, rookie minicamp, OTAs, training camp, whatever it is, he has impressed everybody within the Kansas City Chiefs organization. And he was rewarded this past weekend. He was the lone rookie defensive starter. Now, granted, a lot of guys were injured or they held out guys, Chris Jones, Nick Bolton. You're not going to rush these guys back for week 1 of the preseason. But the point is, he had a lot of big-time plays in the first half. He led the Kansas City Chiefs with 3 solo tackles. One of those was behind the line of scrimmage in a one-on-one matchup on the perimeter. CJ Beathard completed a short pass to Tank Bigsby on 3rd and 10. Hicks flashed his speed to knock him down for a 1-yard loss, forcing the Jaguars to kick a field goal. So my point just is, things are looking good for these young cats. We say it every freaking year. I don't know how the Kansas City Chiefs do this, just in drafting in general. And I know, like Jared Wiley, your rookie tight end, he had a fumble. It was very unfortunate. It's a learning experience at the end of the day. But for the most part, the Kansas City Chiefs rookies, they produce when regular season starts. They turn into emerging stars right away. They turn into like great players by the end of their rookie seasons. And I'm looking at a cat like Jaden Hicks, and I'm thinking, the Chiefs, Coach Steve Spagnuolo, you're going to want to find this. You're going to want to find a way to put this dude on the field as often as possible. So great news for that young rookie. And then speaking of rookies, LRZ, Luis Rees-Zammit, this was his first ever NFL game. So, obviously it's most likely going to seem a little bit weird. I heard an interesting quote on The Athletic. I think it was from Nate Taylor, sorry. He said he lacked decisiveness and burst on offense, but he only had 2 carries. He did just have 1 yard. The good news for LRZ is he's got a lot of versatility when it comes to just playing multiple positions. And we keep talking about his special teams. That's a huge positive. But we're going to need to see a big week next weekend against the Detroit Lions in preseason week number 2 if he wants to make this roster, even if it's just mainly a special teams piece. So that's all we got time for in tonight's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. But guys, most importantly, give me a great rating for the Kansas City Chiefs' first preseason game and anything else that you want to say down below. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you soon.